Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
enjoy this presentation of the Jimmy Mack Healing Show.
Hey everybody, Jimmy Mack coming to you live with another transmission and download, and today's show is no exception to that. We're glad you're here today. Lots of folks on the call, as always. Love that. We want to help you and contribute to you in any way we can, so we're glad you're calling in and staying with us on this. And, of course, we want to bring you some healing, maybe some messages from Spirit. We never know what's going to show up, so it's all good. Weather's intermittent here. Florida, of course. We never know what it's going to do, but of course the joke is wait 10 minutes and it'll change. So hopefully everybody's staying safe during the COVID-ness and everything else going on, and thoughts and prayers are with you for real, and we hope everybody's doing well. Lots of good stuff coming up. Every Tuesday, of course, 4 p.m. Eastern will be our live radio show. In August, we are going to switch over to video, and that's exciting too. So that'll be on Facebook and YouTube and all of it. So you'll get plenty of notice and information about it. You can still call in. You can still IM and write little notes, maybe your question about a reading or a healing. So even then, it's going to be a good situation. You actually be able to see us live and hear us live on video. So we look forward to that as well. So keep us posted. Also, the last Wednesday of the month, we always have our Zoom event. And this particular one, it's always the last Wednesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're already getting the newsletter, you'll read about it. This particular one's all about independence. So think of things you might want to be independent from. Maybe a parent that stood over you for too long, or independent of school, or a health challenge, or any number of things you'd want to be independent from. So we're keeping it with the theme of independence, July 4th and all the rest of it. And so join us for that if you can. Lots of good stuff coming out. We also have a creative audio MP3 we'll probably release within the next 30 days. And that's really for folks that are into, of course, authors, musicians, artists, empaths, healers, folks like ourselves that maybe are blocked in one particular area or another. And it's about a 30-minute long audio MP3, has a ton of clearings on it. So we're excited about that. So that'll be coming out soon too. So definitely stay up with us. Join us up at, of course, jimmymackhealing.com. You can go there, put in your just your first name and your email address. We'll never spam you. We send out one little newsletter every Wednesday. It's called TGI Wednesday, and that'll have all the announcements and all the upcoming shows and things that we're doing to help you all we can. So we're glad you're here. Thanks for joining us, and buckle up. We go as fast as we can, and we'll bring you some healing and some messages from Spirit. By all means, grab that one thing. So if you got 10 health challenges, relationships, money, work, job, career, maybe a family member, love, whatever you got going on, grab one of those two as far as a question for our intuitive. So today's no exception. The first Tuesday of every month is Psychic Joanne Leo, and we're so glad to have her on as always, and she always brings it and really gives you some readings from the heart. How are you today, Joanne? Welcome to the show.
I am great, Jim.
It's been crazy, hasn't it? What was it, like 7 retrogrades and planets, and Mercury retrograde and full moon and lunar eclipses and July 4th, and oh my God, what in the world?
It is an interesting time. Really, this hasn't happened for 37 years. And, if you go back, I think that's, 1983, something like that? Mm-hmm. Let me see. 20, 37, 83. So think about back in 1983, things were kind of humming, our world, our value system, our jobs, our families, our values, it's kind of like a reset, or it's kind of like,
right.
Wait a minute here. Things are out of kilter. How do I get back to center? How do I get back to normal? How do I get back to sanity? How do I get back to sanity? How do I get back to that security? How do I get back to feeling balanced and my world's balanced, my family's balanced, my work is balanced? Of course we go through, our little ups and downs, financially or emotionally or whatever, but pretty much status quo stable was in 1983, right?
Wow.
We didn't.
My oldest was born then. My oldest, he's a trip. So.
I know all your children. So, but I think the thing is that I want people to start waking up a little bit to what normalcy is. In 1983, and I've been doing this a lot with my numerology. Okay, a lot of people have a sense of security. Family values, holidays. There wasn't a big divide. I remember in 1983, I worked for a Fortune 500 company. There was no division, with people or nationalities, ethnicities, nothing. It was fun. We had a blast.
Go figure. Isn't that wild?
This is kind of like, let's deep breathe here and let's get reset back to normal of humanity and kindness and not being so judgmental. I think judgmental has gotten crazy, or being the critic. When I do life coaching, I am on this critic thing because people are looking for what's wrong instead of what's right or what could be right. You see, I think, we need to kind of do a little switcheroo here.
No doubt. No doubt.
If we're looking,
tell folks, honey. Yeah, tell folks how to get a hold of you. The best website, of course, email address, the phone number if they want to go deeper for a reading.
Oh, absolutely, because I do soul charts, and that's your blueprint, and nobody's got the blueprint like your soul chart. They can always call me or text me at 727-743-3400. And then if they want to know all about me, my website is Psychic Joanne, and it's Joanne, Leo.com. And my email is psychicjoanneleo@gmail.com.
Perfect. Love it.
So
you and I go.
We go way back.
Way back. When Moses wore short pants.
Yeah.
Decades and decades. Hard to believe.
And it's really funny because we both have studied and helped people along the way, and it's very rewarding. On my, I know I can't speak for you, but I know you, and you've healed me many times by the grace of God. And we do different work, and we specialize in. That's how spirit works,
Sure.
I always tell people I didn't ask for this job; I got appointed. So
I love that. God, I'm going to start telling people that. I feel like I got appointed.
No, I truly believe that, because the way that the spiritual teachers waltzed into my life, it was like a Big Bang theory, and nothing I planned, and it was a wow factor. And I was a willing student. I guess when your soul is ready, your soul's ready to learn. And I love teaching, helping, uplifting, inspiring. And it's only for the people that really want to grab onto that ring of being inspired and reinventing themselves. I'm not the Joanne that Jim and Josephine brought into the world in the late 40s. I've studied, I've worked, and I've applied. And I encourage people to do, never would I ask anybody to do something that I haven't personally done myself to study.
Mm-hmm. No, we've been at it a long time. It's definitely not a hobby. It's what we live and breathe, that's for sure. Well, we're going to grab some callers, honey, and I'm happy just to talk to you. And it's like you said, it's been crazy town, so hopefully things will get back to some form of normalcy around here. I don't even know when retrograde ends. When does retrograde end? We'll see if...
I have to look it up. I have to look it up, Jim, because
I'd have to look it up, too. Yeah, I just blaze on past it. I know Tiffany will text me and let me know. July 12th.
Okay, that's coming up. But, I pulled some Archangel Gabriel cards because I just got some.
Oh, good.
And I want to just kind of share with with our audience here that blocks will be lifted as long as you take the blinders off your eyes and the cotton out of your ears, okay? So I think blocks lifted. So if we have tunnel, think about it. If you got cotton in your ears and blinders on your eyes, you're going to have a limited viewpoint or a limited thought process or whatever. So that was the first card, blocks lifted. Previous obstacles come from fear. Well, I teach that if you're in fear, then your faith is nowhere to be seen. Mm-hmm. So we have to identify what is fear. Now, fear is the opposite of faith, right? So, and the second thing that I pulled was, it went with blocks lifted, is let's work on vulnerability. If you're vulnerable, that means you don't have facts, or you need more information. All right? Take a deep breath. Look for some facts. Maybe find some wisdom from from somebody like the spiritual work that you and I do, because we really work on I work on a soul level. I know you do. Okay. And the third card was helping children, and I think this is an important time to help our children. This is a very confusing time for children. Would you not agree, Jim?
Oh, yeah, the kids, absolutely. Anymore, I find spirit also shows up much more even for the grandkids than the adults. It's quite funny, and that's what they almost, they communicate with me all the time, especially my parents or those departed, even my brother, all these different people, and they're like, we're just here to help the grandkids. I'm like, oh, my God, what about all of us? It's just so funny. But they just really dote on the grandkids, and they jump to, defending those that can't defend themselves kind of thing. So it's really interesting.
Well, helping the children, too, also with a strong value system and to have that sense of security, too. And then the last card that I pulled that I thought was pretty interesting that kind of wraps things up here is authenticity. Isn't that interesting? And it's to trust your real self, the soul part of yourself, that, we're all God's children and we're all divine and we all have strength and we all have knowledge if we seek it. So I thought that was a really good little segue for our show today. What do you?
I love it. Definitely. We'll grab some callers, honey. We'll see what we can shake up for people. Yeah. If you haven't already called in, you're listening on what my mother called the pooter, the computer, 206 area code, of course, 806-9965. So give us a call and at least get on the list there, and we're going to straighten up all we can for you. 603 is our first caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from New Hampshire.
Hi, what's your name?
Rosemarie.
Rosemarie, how are you today?
I'm doing good today. How are you?
Oh, good. Thanks for asking, honey. Yeah. Is there anything we can help you with? Joanne's really great at cards and reading and all that.
Yeah, I didn't know if I had anything specific. Things seem to be going pretty well, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm doing full potential on a lot of the things that I've been incubating on for so long. So I'm just looking for some clarity, maybe.
Yeah, well, give her your name and date of birth, and she'll figure it out.
Okay, Rosemarie. You need the last name?
No, that's fine. Just Rosemary,
Okay.
what's your month and day? Yeah.
November 30th, 1963.
Okay. You know, this is really, it's not funny that you said that you're just trying to round things out or kind of reflect or whatever. You're in a very interesting cycle, and it's an 18-month cycle numerically. Now, numerology is a 3,000-year-old science, and it's tied to your soul. So your birthday resonates to your soul. This is kind of like, okay, this is like a rebalance, or what do I really want to change? You know, people, places, and things, what would serve me well. I think you're very sensitive. I think you're a very caring, loving person. I think also, too, that you have to just be very careful that people don't take advantage of you. So it's kind of like I see a scale for you to weigh things out in this cycle of good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. And I think you're going to find that you're going to just kind of tweak yourself. Does that make sense, Rosemary?
Did you say squeak or tweak?
Tweak.
Oh, okay.
That's my Chicago accent.
and also the cell phone.
Yeah.
I think that, I do. But I just feel like I've been on this path working towards something, but I'm not quite sure if I know what that something is.
Well, I think that something needs to be with, I like to do this, and you might want to start, this might be a good starting point for you. I do this with my life coaching people, is let's get a blank sheet of paper and let's start writing down what you deserve. And then on another sheet of paper, I like to stretch. I think stretching goals or things that I'd like to do. I know when I worked, I said, if I had more time, I would do X, Y, and Z. You see?
Right.
Well, until you can use your hand to the paper, there is a tremendous connection from the hand to the brain to the paper. Okay?
Okay.
And so I say goal setting. I say doing some study. One thing that I think would be really great for you is a book is called Heart Thoughts by Louise Hay. And it really kind of is really great because it gives you a little kickstart and it gives you wisdom, you know, and you can pick it up. I have it with my coffee every day. I pick a page or two or whatever. But I just really think this is a good time for you to kind of just really work on tweaking. That's what Spirit tells me. Tweak. Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right. Thank you.
We're glad you called in.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Glad I did.
You bet. Thanks for listening to the show. 562 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, hello. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Joanne. Thanks so much for taking my call and for being here for so many of us. Thank you.
You bet.
You're welcome.
What's your name, honey? Where are you calling from?
This is Patty calling from California.
Patty from California. All right. Did you have a question for Joanne, honey?
I would like, I guess, maybe a reading from my birth date like the previous caller. Would that be all right?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. What's your month and day?
December 20th.
Okay.
Is it better if I give you the year?
No, well, if I was doing a full chart, but we're just doing the radio show, so I'm going to just do the short version here. Okay. So.
Okay. December 20th, and it's Patty.
Okay. And it's really funny how things go in cycles because you're in the same cycle as Rosemary was. It's kind of really like carrying, or pulling pieces apart of what's really important, and people, places, and things. A lot of times it's kind of like you're going up into an attic that you haven't been up there in a long time. You open up the door and you go, oh, my God, look at all this stuff. That's people, places, and things, and it's kind of like, what serves me, what no longer serves me, what needs to go. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like it's really kind of like giving yourself a reboot, a restart, a clearing out, an uplift. I mean, and sometimes it can be kind of emotional in this cycle, this year and a half cycle, And I feel like, let me think about this for a minute here. So you hit this in January, so I'm going to say you'll be out of this by June of next year. Okay?
Wow, I still have a ways to go.
But, the good news is that you take deep breaths and you say, good for me, not good for me. Healthy for me, not healthy for me, so that you don't lose your power. You see, that's the whole kicker. A lot of times when we go through indecision or having to look at different things, we lose our way because we give away our power. So you don't want to give away your power. You want to go good for me, not good for me. Healthy for me, not healthy for me. It keeps you centered. A lot of times during this influence, people will go through, major changes. They will either move, redecorate, start a new job, start a new study, and really kind of purge things or declutter. So it's not a bad time. It's a reinventing time. So I think it's a good thing because it gives you, when June hits next year, it's like you got a wide open highway. I mean, it's like clear sailing. So setting your goals would be very important, Patty, very important. And to thy own self be true should be on your refrigerator.
Okay, I appreciate your guidance. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very interesting. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
You bet. Appreciate you listening to the show. 608 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, 608. You're on live. We never know what we're going to get. This is radio, folks. I love it. 608, going once, going twice. All right. I can probably call back if they did want to speak, and that's fine. 713 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Leslie, I'm calling from Houston.
You're calling from Ukraine?
Houston, Texas.
Houston. Oh, okay. Got it. We get callers from all around the world, so we're glad you're talking to us live. Houston, what's going on?
Oh, so I am dealing with my teenager right now. It's taking a toll on me, and
all right.
I don't know
Let me do this.
What's going on.
Let me do this, son. Give me your teenager's month and day, your month and day, and I'll figure it out. And the name.
Reagan, 9/16/02.
Okay. And what's your first name, hon?
Leslie.
Okay, Leslie. What's your birthday, honey? Month and day?
11/18.
Okay. Well, first of all, Reagan is a manipulator and kind of and very sensitive, and so it wears on you because there's a soul connection between the two of you. I think there's a role reversal here. Reagan was a parent in one of your lifetimes, and you were the kid, or there was some sort of a cycle there. But where I'm really concerned about Reagan in this lifetime is how Reagan communicates. I would say more of a stuffer, or lives in is this a boy or a girl? I don't know what the name
Girl.
Reagan.
Okay. Girl.
Okay, so she lives in her head too much, and she can tend to be, look for everything that's wrong instead of what's right. But there's a karmic thing from her previous lifetime that I'd be a little concerned with, and you might want to do a private reading, Leslie, because alcohol or drugs has got to be something that would be a karmic thing for her in this lifetime, either to lick them or join them. So it's a choice. And I would be very concerned about that, okay? I think she's sensitive, but I also think she doesn't like to be told what to do, how to do it, where to do it, or when to do it.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And so what happens to you being sensitive and having this, both of you have that connection from a previous lifetime, which makes you super sensitive. her words or her actions can actually crush you. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So you have to learn to stand stronger in your shoes, and you have to learn to be able to say no without feeling guilty. And you have to not operate in fear. Okay, that's what Spirit tells me. And my Spirit guy's a pretty strong cat, so I'm just telling you that, he comes on like gangbusters. But you may want to get a full soul reading so that you can see her blueprint, so that you can help her. I love doing children. I love doing families because there is a big karmic soul connection that runs through families.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's
I think she's got to make better choices, and I think she needs to learn to be a better communicator. I think she's a stuffer, and when she does that, she also manipulates, and she knows how to get to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
There you go, honey.
You can't get away from me when I get into the soul level, honey.
Well,
right.
Do your best. Yep. And especially the teen stuff's a bit much, and girls especially rivalry with mom often. So there you go, even if it's on an unconscious level. So we're glad you called in, though. Thank you for your question and for listening to the show.
Thank you for your insight. Bye-bye.
You bet. Bye, honey. Thank you. Awesome. 617's our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Joy from Massachusetts.
Hey, Joy. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's great to be on the call. Thank you for doing this.
Sure.
Joan, my date of birth, February 13th, and it's Joy. And my question is on my career and divine purpose, if that makes sense. If there's any insight you could share with me, that would be fantastic.
Okay, well, your divine purpose would be in your blueprint, which we can't do on the call here, but I can give you some. First of all, I know you're very smart, and I know that you're very responsible, and I know that you're very nurturing, and I know that you could have insight. So it's very, very important that you follow your gut feeling, because every time you didn't, you made boo-boos. Am I correct?
Correct.
Right. So you've got to pay attention to that gut feeling. That's a gift from God that you earned from many, many lifetimes, and we want to put logic to it. And this is, I've been doing this spiritual work for 40 years, and I can tell you people try to put logic to the gut feeling or to their, whatever you want to call it, sixth sense, mother's intuition, you name it. There's no logic. It is what it is. It's your internal warning system or your alert system, or, it's the go-to, it's the rocket fuel. So it's important to pay attention. You're in a great cycle this year to make things happen career-wise or to set some new goals. You've got a brand new 8-year cycle starting up here. So it's kind of like, what have you learned in the past 9 years? Because that's, that's how life is. It's one big school, and we always have things to learn and grow. But you're in a 1 this year, and right now you're in July. This is a time for you to really execute your authority or to make some positive steps if you want to do anything financial, which would include a career. You just need to learn to speak up for yourself and not be shy about it, okay? It's got nothing to do with the ego or anything like that. You got to, if we don't pat ourselves on the back, nobody else will, so we got to give ourselves a leg up. I think this is an excellent year for you to move forward, and I think it's exciting when I get to the fall here. I think things are going to really start picking up. You're going to have a lot more fun and plan some adventures. It just looks very positive.
Yeah, well, that's great news.
That is great news. Oh, my gosh. It sounds like a long cycle you got coming up, too, so that's always a good open field running. So we're glad you called in, honey.
I thank you so much. This was really helpful.
You bet.
Thank you both.
Good. We're glad. That's why we're here. It's what we do. That's fabulous. Joanne, it's already halfway through. Can you believe it? Tell folks how to get a hold of you, honey, the website and phone number and email.
Yes. They can always text me or call me, 727-743-3400. My website is psychic Joanne, Joanne Leo.com. And my email is psychicjoanneleo@gmail.com. And
Perfect.
Just, so that they know the soul chart is their blueprint in heaven. And it never changes, and I am the interpreter. So it's loaded with everything about their past, what lessons they chose in this lifetime, and then their birthday gets, as you see what we're doing on the show, it moves all the time to give you information.
Love it. Well said. Yeah, if you want to go deeper, folks, definitely reach out and do something off the air with her, and you're going to get that much more bang for your buck, that's for sure. It's very, very worth your time. 201's our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Isabel from New Jersey. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, Isabel. How are you, honey?
I'm well. Thank you for asking.
You bet.
I have a court hearing scheduled for this July 9th, and I was just wondering if there's any guidance available on its outcome.
Let Isabel, let her know your date of birth.
Of course, May 15th.
Okay. So, let's see. And we're in a 2, that's a 6. And it's July, what was that, your court date?
July 9th.
We're
still waiting for confirmation, but that's the proposed date.
Well, it could be rescheduled or delayed or whatever. But let me see how your year looks here. You're in a strong pinnacle for any kind of court case. So whatever representation you have and all the facts, if they're all just kind of buttoned up just right, I feel that it would be very positive, honey. But there could be a reschedule here. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I think that there's some things with the court dates or with the court system or whatever, and it's probably because of their calendar. But will you be successful? I do feel you will be. In the end, all be all.
Thank you so much.
Did you get the same thing?
It does feel like a continuance for that day. They might even go in or let them know. They might even continue it that day for 30 days out is about what I get. I do a lot of court stuff and lawsuit stuff, so just letting you know. Yeah. And dealing at the level you're dealing with, that happens all the time.
Right, and I do feel it's going to, it'll be positive.
Well, if it's in her favor, that's a dream, so that's really good. I'm excited just to hear that. So, yeah, it's been a long, strange trip, I know. So there you go. Yeah, we're glad you called in, honey. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for your generosity and many blessings to everyone.
You as well. Thank you for calling in. Thanks for saying that. It's definitely it's of service. That's what Joanne and I do. And also, I almost forgot to mention, y'all, you can go to the JimmyMackHealingShow.com, and you'll see all the past shows, 5, 6, 7 years now, I guess, of shows. And then if you get the newsletter, you'll be able to hear the replay of this. So if there's anything you're missing today, or you got half the message and you want to hear it again or re-listen to it, you will hear the link on the show as well. You can get a copy of that, so no problem. Awesome. 503 is our next caller. Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Kathy from Portland.
Hey, Kathy from Portland. How are you today?
I'm holding on by a thread, but I'm doing all right.
Okay. Well, hold on to both hands of that thread.
Yeah, I have been. I was going to ask about me, but I think I want to ask about my husband.
Okay. What's his birthday and what's his name?
Frank, 3/16/50.
Is he going through some health issues?
Yes, he's in the hospital right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, honey. I got it really strong, okay? Hang on a second. Has it got to do with his heart?
That's kind of part of it, but that's not the real reason he's in there.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling like there's definitely a couple things going on here. I could feel that, and I feel his heart. Is he real stubborn that he's not willing to take certain measures, or what here? Because that's what I'm feeling. I feel like I have a little bit of
He's stubborn. Yes.
Okay. I'm feeling. This is what I can only give you because I'm a clairsensor, but I'm feeling that it's like I got a resistance here from him. Okay, and I'll pray for him for sure, but that he'll be more open and receptive because it's going to impede him trying to get over the hump here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. I agree.
There's definitely something that's out of balance that needs to be rebalanced. Is it his chemistry or what is it?
Well, they gave him some antibiotics and they overdosed him, so he had a really bad reaction to it, and he almost died. That was the first time. This time is different. This time it's something else.
Oh, okay. I just feel like there's some confusion there, too, but Jimmy's really good with health stuff, too. But what I'm seeing here is that if Frank could just get out of being resistant and stubborn so that he can make that leap of making some improvement to get to a resolution. What do you pick up, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, it's endless. I could work on him for an hour. That's just the way it is. But, yeah, any chance you get to reason with him, sit in there and say prayers, the better off you're going to be. Medical mistakes are made all the time. It's just disheartening. And so, I definitely pick up residual from the antibiotic issue and all that. They gave me too much anesthesia in the hospital. That killed me. So that's what happened with me in a near-death experience, and I died every night in ICU, so I had very profound experiences. But I hope that doesn't happen for the Frank. He doesn't need all that just to be shown, but, I certainly would listen to everything they say at this point and see if we can't pull the plane out of the mountain, as it were. Make sense?
Yes.
Yep. That's all I know to do. Keep him in prayers. Keep him up there.
Okay.
Prayer work.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I do healing.
You'd be surprised. There's angels in the room. There's all kinds of stuff going on. It's amazing to me always. And he'll have relatives in the room and people sitting in the chair. One of the most profound experiences. Yep. Yeah, one of the most profound experiences of my life was before I even got cut on. I was in a room, sharing a room with a gentleman. He was in horrible agony, pain, and every few hours moaning and groaning. Imagine trying to sleep through that. And there was a little lady sitting in the chair in front of him, and she was reading, sat there with a shawl, and would read a book to him and everything else. And then one night she didn't come back, and I said to the nurses, I said, "Where's the lady that's always sitting in the chair over there reading to the man next to me?" And they looked at me so funny, and it's like there was never any woman there in the chair, ever. Nobody in the chair. So, and I'm telling you, I can still describe her sitting in that chair. So that's how profound things can get, in a hurry. So you start experiencing stuff like that and things get real in a hurry, So there you go.
Okay.
But
we'll
send her to watch over him too.
Hopefully, yes. And anyone you can, anyone, everyone, all the angels that are
everyone.
Yeah.
I love it. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate
you, honey.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you. Be well in Portlandia. Gosh.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. 775. Linnell, you're on live. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. And yourself, Jimmy? And lovely Leo?
We're doing great. Yeah, we're doing great. We're glad you're here, honey. You doing okay?
I am doing okay. Just ran to the dentist, and it's not going to be too expensive.
Oh,
okay.
I like hearing that. That's a rare thing.
Yeah.
I dated a dentist for almost a year, and that was a trip. So anyway, they're all about that money, I can tell you that. So that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, so anytime you can leave there unscathed, you're doing pretty good. Did you have a question for Joanne, honey?
I do, actually. I am wondering, an old friend of mine has come back into my life, and I feel like someone's coming in, and I don't know if this person coming in is someone I know or someone new. And my birthday is 8/9. I'm a lovely Leo as well.
Yes, you are. Well, Jimmy and I are Leos.
That's right. We're both Leos.
I know. We're almost going to be shining like nonstop. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Jimmy and I have had synergy for many moons, let me tell you. Yeah, I feel like somebody new. I don't feel somebody old. I feel it's somebody new. And, if you've listened to me with Jimmy,
I get new too, by the way. Yep.
Okay. Great. Good.
Mm-hmm. I love when we work together. It's just like, I'm telling you, we have synergy. But here's the thing that I would love for you to do, Linnell, because I think it's a good exercise, okay? Get out a piece of paper, honey, and write a non-negotiable list. Because it's very important, because we can get excited or flattered when we meet somebody and we're excited or whatever, but it's really important to have that non-negotiable list so that your head's not playing games with you. You understand? So, just real briefly, I'll give you my non-negotiable list. If they're an alcoholic, druggie, or rehabbed or whatever, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be a rehab center. I have to have somebody who's a great communicator, somebody who is not afraid to agree to disagree, that we can have that respect. I have to have respect for them. They have to have respect for me. My list goes on. And they have to be family-oriented. Not afraid to take a responsibility to say they're sorry when they've overstepped or whatever. That's really important to write it, because it puts the hand to the brain concept that I use with all my coaching, and it works. You can't just have it in your head. It doesn't work. It's in and out. Do you understand? But
that's exactly what I needed to hear. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad.
Yes.
That makes me happy, because I do a lot of praying like Jimmy to do this work. This work is a spiritual journey.
That it is. Yeah, and I just have to tell Jimmy, you sound super clear.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, you sound super, super clear.
Good. Well, we work on each other, that's for sure, day and night, and it's always a process, that's for sure. So, but it's all good. It's all good. We're helping all the folks we can, as you know, and lots going on right now. So, never stop.
Okay.
And I could do sessions 18 hours a day if I wanted to. But anyway, we want quality instead of quantity, and helping all the folks we can, for sure. So we're glad you called in, honey.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for everything you do.
You're welcome.
And enjoy our month coming. Woohoo! Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The Leos. The Leos. I love it. Awesome. All right. We'll grab another caller here. Looks like Carolyn from L.A. 818. Hey, Carolyn. How are you, honey? You doing okay?
I'm doing good today. How are you?
Oh, good. Good. Thanks for asking. We're glad you're here.
Yes, I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my call. My birthday is August 22nd. I'm a Leo. And I want to know, what cycle will I be in, and what do I have to look forward to this year?
Well, you're in a 7-year, which is kind of like, if you could think about it, Carolyn, it's like, I like to look at it like a big scale, And it's all about balance, you know. And I think if you've heard me for eons that I've worked with Jimmy, it's all about good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me, with looking at it with clarity. Do you know what I'm saying? Being honest with yourself. But it's about decisions too. So if you've got some major decisions to make this year, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting out a piece of paper, drawing a line down the middle, and pros and cons. You cannot get in your head this year because you won't have a clear picture. So when you have the pros and the cons, it's right in front of your face, and it's very clear to see so that you're not muddled or you don't procrastinate. This is a year for you not to procrastinate. So it's kind of like moving you forward. You're going in a great cycle. This July, August, and September is like a little power button for you. So if you've got some things that you've been putting on the back burner or that you've been indecisive about, you know, that's the time to put the pedal to the metal, okay? I always like to say, let's step on the gas here, honey, okay?
Okay.
So I really think that this is a good and a reflective time, and also to be very good to yourself. Don't get into any self-sacrificing here for other people. No, I don't want you to do that. Okay?
No, I don't want to do it either. Okay, I'll focus on myself and be really good.
Right. Well, it's all about you this year. Yeah. It's all about you, honey.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love it. You feeling okay, honey? You doing all right? You sound good.
I'm doing good. Nothing's wrong with me. Today.
Well, I love hearing that. That's awesome. Makes my job a lot easier.
I've been sleeping a lot though, but I think my body just needs it. So I'm trying to get all the sleep I can get.
Often it does. I'll tell you a couple things about that. One is the heat definitely knocks the tar out of us for more sleeping. And my mother used to say, I feel a nap coming on, and that's okay. And my doctor friend and personal physician, he always says, Jimmy, people have no idea how much healing they could get if they could just get 2 or 3 nights good sleep. So think about that too. So it's always very helpful, very helpful. So we're glad you called in, honey. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having the show. Thank you for
you bet.
Both of your wisdom and your insight.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. We appreciate you listening. Gosh. Looks like Nancy 860. How are you today, Nancy?
You got it. Hi, Jimmy. I'm great.
Good.
Did
you have a question for Joanne?
I do. And may I do a short little plug for your work as well in case people don't know about your private sessions?
Please. That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. I had a private session with Jimmy last month and saw some changes very quickly, and they continue progress on things that we worked on, and it was amazing. So thank you for that.
You bet. Wow. Glad you enjoyed it. That's fabulous. So very cool.
Yeah.
Very
and
nice.
Joanne, I've been working on my list. I talked to you last month, and a list on the partner bringing into my life. And I just wondered if there's anything else that you have to tell me today. And my birthday's April 5th. 5.
Okay. April 5th. Okay. Well, this is, first of all, the universal year, this 2020, even though that we've been going through some crazy stuff, and with these planets that Jimmy and I talked about in the beginning of the show, it's really about finding a sense of balance for oneself, and you're right in that, in your with your numbers this year that I'm looking at, and I could see where progress is being made because I've got the cycle in your chart that April, May, and June was like a power button for you. So definitely take that because now you've got the the wisdom and you've got some extra knowledge, and now you need to put like I always say, the pedal to the metal. It's kind of like buckle up and then hit the gas. Because you've got the next 6 months is very, whatever you want to happen financially, personally, goal-wise, you've got the right energy to do it in your chart. The only thing holding you back would be you.
There you go. Makes sense?
I feel that. I feel the power. Like I feel it around me and the clarity. And I can be pretty patient. I'm very impatient at stoplights, but when it comes to spirit unfolding things, I have a lot of patience. And I do. I see a lot of those good things coming, and I have for a while.
Well, you have to think about good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me, so that you don't lose your power, that you stay in center of power, because a lot of times, and especially with females, they're pleasers, nurturers, whatever, and they put themselves on the back burner too quickly. So it's all about relearning your power without, thinking that you're being arrogant or you're egotistical or whatever. No, it's like standing strong in your shoes. I encourage that every single day, whether you're a guy or a girl. But usually women know how to kind of back it up and stuff it over to the side because they want to make everybody else happy and put the button on the, the bow on the button or whatever. So
right.
You have to learn to thy own self be true. I'm a big believer in that. So put it on your refrigerator, put it on your mirror, say it to yourself, because that keeps your power in center.
And what is the phrase that goes on the mirror?
To thy own self be true. It's not selfish. People have to get that out. Remove selfish from your vocabulary. No school teaches you to love yourself and to put yourself first. How can you make anybody else happy if you don't love yourself? It doesn't work.
Right. Okay. Thank you to both of you. Thanks for the show.
You bet. Yeah, we're glad you called in, honey. Thank you so much. Gosh.
You're welcome.
All good stuff. Yeah. Gosh, Joanne, we're almost through with the show. Throw some cards for me. Do I have a 5 or 10 year cycle? We're coming up here, August. You and me both. August 19th. You know me by heart.
I know you. I don't have to have your birthday. I know it. This is all about the big job theory here, or your work. This whole year is going to be all about that and all that in a box of chocolates. But I have to tell you that, and my spirit guide's really kind of funny, but it's your work is spiritual, but what's coming on top of that is truly divine, they tell me. Divine. It doesn't get better than that. Yeah. And for those of people that don't know it out there, Jimmy's healed me several times. I mean, from serious stuff. So, folks, he's the real deal. Okay. So you have to be very careful when I'm looking at, you're in a very power cycle, just like, who did I have that from Nancy? Even though that your birthday's different, you got the same pinnacles for the next 6 months, Jimmy, and it's very powerful. Success, financial leadership skills, new knowledge coming in, making things organized, bringing things to light. When I said divine, my spirit guide's not kidding. It will be truly divine. You have to be very careful. There was a lesson for you to learn the first 6 months of the year of people who aren't who they say they are. Do you understand me? And so, lesson learned. No. What Spirit tells me is this was important because it's lesson learned. You're supposed to be learning a very important lesson this year that started in January and ended June 30th. So we're only a few days out of it, Jim. So I would do the inventory of what it is that you had to learn from either being deceptive, not all the facts, not being told the truth, dancing you around the park, whoever that was, or what, or who, what, where, how, whatever. You need to be clear on that.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Now
Sounds good for the rest of the year, at least. That's great.
Well, let me look at your month now, August coming up. So this is a fun time. This is like lightening up. This is like having fun. But you have fun in what you do anyway, so you make it that way. There's something, there's going to either be a contract or something legal coming up in the second week of August that I want you to be very judicious about, okay? So I don't know if it's a legal case or paperwork, but I want you
to... it's paperwork. It won't be legal. It's paperwork, definitely.
Okay. It's dot your I's, cross your T's, and make sure that you have, if it's anything that has to be, legitimized, documented, trademarked, whatever, copyrighted. It's very important that when this comes up here, this is a warning to pay attention.
Got it.
And then,
very cool.
August is going to be very good. There's a lot of psychic stuff coming up at the end of August, too, that you'll have to use your gift, and it could be on an emotional level. So be aware of that.
Nice. Yeah, I appreciate it, honey. I'll tell you the cutest, funniest story you can laugh over. I had a really good, well-known astrologer on the show at one point, and she saw on this particular date all kinds of danger coming up for me and to be really careful and blah, blah, blah. And on that date, my neighbor called me at like 7 in the morning and said, Jimmy, go next door, see if you see anybody in my house. I thought, what in the world? And they had the alarms go off, and so I'm walking all around the porch of his house, and I'm looking, and I don't see a soul. And I turn around, and here comes 7 different cops, all with their guns drawn, running for the door. And it was on that very day. Isn't that funny? And so that's what the astrologer was picking up on, right? But it wasn't me as the next-door neighbor, so I just thought that was so cute and funny. But clearly she's picking up on that. Isn't that wild?
That is because, astrology and numerology are secret school stuff from 3,000 years ago, and it's very predictive. Isn't that something now? I just thought, I'll never forget that. It was so funny. I'm like, hey, I had my hands up. I'm the next door neighbor. It's like, exactly. Please don't shoot me for holding the cell phone. It's like, oh my gosh. So anyway, I thought you'd get a kick out of it. But that's how things can even work out. A lot of times this stuff cannot even be ours, but we're picking up on probability and things that can happen. So I love it. I'll pick up something in a chart, and I'll say, don't drink and drive because you'll get a DUI or a ticket. And they'll look at me, poo-poo the idea. Sure enough, they'll call me and say, I got a DUI.
Yeah, or they could be with somebody that did. Yeah, I know. Crazy town. Gosh, it flew by, honey. Thank you so much for being on the show. Tell folks how to get a hold of you. What's the best way?
They can always text me or call me at 727-743-3400. My webpage is Psychic Joanne, Joanne, Leo.com. And my email is Psychic Joanne, Joanne, Leo, @gmail.com.
Love it. Thank you so much, honey. You always make it fun. I can lay back and relax a little bit with you on the show, so I really appreciate that, and we always have fun. First Tuesday of the month.
Love it.
Hey, folks, join us every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we're thrilled to have you on and joining us in all of this, and by all means, stay in touch. I want to wish everybody the rest of your life will be the best of your life, and remember to make progress every day. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
Jimmy Mack is a renowned medical intuitive and spiritual life coach who, after a near-death experience, was divinely shown a simpler way to create healing and profound changes, now known as My Liquid Fish, Change Made Simple. Host of talk radio show called The Jimmy Mack Healing Show. Jimmy works worldwide with clients in person, on the phone, and over Skype, accessing energetic powers and co-creating changes that you actually feel. Visit www.jimmymackhealing.com.
Become a Goldilocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldilocks Productions VIP community today.